So today we have two monsters of fear from the horror genre going head to head. Pennywise versus Freddy Krueger. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, we're going to start off with Freddy Krueger first. In life, Freddy Krueger was a psychotic serial child killer, my apologies, and after he died, he became an agent for the three original Dream Demons. This granted him significant superhuman and supernatural abilities. His main power is being able to invade people's dreams. Once he does, he basically becomes a god and can do whatever he wants while in the dream. From warping reality, teleporting, telekinesis, manifesting objects, disguising himself as others, etc. He can literally just control the dream and everything that happens within it. He can see the person's worst fears and exploit them before finally killing them. The dreams he haunts are deeper and far more intense than normal nightmares. They can even manipulate the real world, like when he moves sheets to form a noose to hang his victim while in their sleep. He can even keep people asleep and dreaming, kind of like putting them in a coma, so he can just keep tormenting them. He's superhumanly strong as he's ripped out hearts, punched through a drywall, thrown a woman with one hand, and he's fought against Jason Voorhees as well. Caught a swing from him with his machete and sent him flying across the room with a kick. He's even bit straight through iron bars and steel chains like they were nothing. And he can't die. Well, I mean, I guess he can, but when he goes to hell, he can just come right back. Like, it's not permanent, and he always does. He's been pierced through the mouth with a pole pierced by several metal spears and withstood a massive explosion. He's taken hits from Jason Voorhees, like being impaled by his machete and having his arm ripped off. He's even been fine after being decapitated. As we saw when Jason Voorhees walked out of the water carrying his head, dude just smiled and laughed. Okay. He can't really die. He's even regrown lost limbs in seconds, too. He also has his metal clawed hand, which has decapitated people. His power is powered by fear. The more people that know his legend and fear him, the more powerful he becomes. He is most powerful and on Elm Street. But as long as people fear him and his legend is growing, he can still kill people from outside of the state of Ohio. But in the other corner, what about his opponent, Pennywise, the dancing clown, also known as It? It was a celestial entity from the Macroverse, a universe just outside of our very own. And it came here to spread fear and to feed on people, preferably on children, as they're easier to scare and scared meat tastes better, like a seasoning on a steak. The dancing clown isn't its true form. The closest we've seen to its true form is the big spider-like creature we saw in It Chapter 2. And that's because our mind can't comprehend its true form. We go crazy and can even become brain damaged or die from it. It had several powers that all get more powerful with the more fear it induces. Telepathy, which it used to exploit fears, implant thoughts, and even mind control. It could shapeshift into any kind of being, including forms that might not be physically possible or exist in reality. This ability also isn't restricted by space or uniformity, as it can appear in several places as different things. It can create illusions that can physically touch and hurt people. It has telekinesis, size alteration, invisibility, and teleportation. It was strong enough to easily rip and bite off human limbs and heads, and it was stood a beat down from the loser's club, all with clubbing weapons, and being stabbed in the head with an iron spike. Since it's not a true physical entity, it can't be killed by conventional means. Its most powerful weapon is its dead lights in its mouth, which is its technical true form. Upon seeing these, the person's mind breaks and they usually die. And while Beverly wasn't killed after seeing these, she was in a catatonic state for a while and definitely had PTSD from it for years, possibly for the rest of her life. It only had one true weakness, and that's when its victim exhibited feelings of courage and hope, positive emotions. This weakens its power significantly because it gets stronger with fear. So, who wins? Which horror monster of fear comes out on top? The celestial entity that predates human civilization, or a psychopath that got his powers from 3 dream demons? Well, let's find out. In terms of strength and durability, I'm not that sure. I think leading towards Freddy Krueger on strength, but it's not like a big important advantage. Durability is weird though. Freddy can't really die, but it can't be killed by conventional means. So Freddy's claw hand won't be able to kill it. Hurt it, sure, but that's about it. No pun intended there. It was only killed after the Losers Club literally bullied it with so much belittlement that it became a small, fragile baby thing, and then one of them simply just grabbed its heart out of its chest. Didn't even rip it, just grabbed it because it was so weakened. And this only worked because of the bullying beforehand. As far as I can tell, ripping out its heart wouldn't have killed it without the bullying first. Pennywise does have more versatility when in the real world, but like I said, Freddy can't die. So we have 3 questions that I need to answer to figure out who wins this fight. Firstly, did Pennywise feel fear? Secondly, did it dream? And thirdly, does Freddy feel fear? Because fear is going to play a big role in this fight. Well, does it feel fear? It's hard to say, but we do know Pennywise will retreat if it's being overpowered. We saw that at the end of part 1. And with retreat, I feel like there has to be some feeling of fear, right? Or at least anxiety or something. Something that's there. It's not just like a tactical thinking to retreat because you're getting beat up. You know, it's coming from a feeling of fear or something. For question number 2, we know Pennywise hibernates for 27 years. But does it dream? Apparently, yes, it does. It mentions in the novel that Pennywise does dream of eating children. So that's great. And for number 3, Freddy Krueger was an uncaring psychopath even before his death. But being psychopathic doesn't mean you're emotionless. And he did and does have an intense fear of fire, as that's how he was killed and that's how he was temporarily defeated in his second movie. Or at least he did have this fear. If you watch Jason versus Freddy, I don't know if that's technically canon to their stories, but I included feats from it, so I will be including it. He didn't seem to be scared of fire in that movie, so I don't know if he's still scared of it or not. But anyways, who wins? Well, I think in a purely head-to-head, straight-up fight, I think Freddy Krueger would overwhelm Pennywise, causing it to retreat into hibernation, like in part 1. And from there, Freddy Krueger could probably finish it off in a dream somehow or something, or just let it be. But Pennywise doesn't have to fight that way and probably wouldn't. That would make no sense. It would use its powers to find out Freddy's fear of fire and exploit it. And fire is pretty easy to exploit as a fear. And then it can have its way with Freddy Krueger. But Freddy can't die. Combine that with the fact that he's been defeated with fire before, technically, and I have a hard time believing he would fall for that again. Remember, Freddy is psychotic, not stupid. He's actually really creative in how he kills, and even knows how to use things in his environment as weapons. And we saw this when he fought Jason. But what about the deadlights? I don't know. I don't know what would happen if Freddy Krueger saw the deadlights. His psychotic nature and or demonic powers and physiology could protect him from them, or give him some sort of resistance to them, or maybe not. They're of another universe, so who knows, dude? I don't know. Your answer is as good as mine. I don't know, and that's something we will never know. But with that being said, I'm actually surprisingly siding with Freddy Krueger on this one. Even if his fear is exploited and he does still fear fire, he can't truly die and will always come back from hell. And I think he'll just outlast Pennywise. I don't think he'll kill Pennywise. I don't think he would be able to do that, except for maybe in a dream or something. But make Pennywise retreat? Sure. And maybe kill it in a dream or something. But that's it. I could be wrong. I'm not like a genius or anything, but that's my thinking of it, and that's what I think would happen. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought, and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. I truly do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.